So Bean Voyage is both a nonprofit and a social enterprise. Can you say more about the social enterprise model and why it's important in advancing your work and your mission?
For sure. SungHee, would you like to go for this one or should I kick it off?
The sound got really, really loud. I want
Okay.
to go for this
I'll
one.
go for it and we'll make sure that, okay. So I'll just kind of start fresh. Yeah, so Bean Voyage is a nonprofit social enterprise. And so there are kind of two elements to this, right? We have a nonprofit arm that's heavily focused around program delivery. So that's the arm that focuses heavily on making sure that our producers are getting the training program, the different advocacy services, and our general support program. And then we have a social enterprise. It's not a separate registered entity, but it's a social enterprise that focuses on generating revenue to make sure that we're running sustainably, right? So we depend heavily on, at least right now, on subsidies, whether it's government funding, foundation funding, things like that, to sustain our programmatic elements. But then we're slowly starting to create a revenue channel that eventually, hopefully, will surpass the donations and grants that we receive so that we can be a more sustainable organization. That was very important for us from the very get-go. From the very initial idea of creating a website was that we would make sure that some revenue would be allowing us to actually sustain. Over the years, as we've grown, we've seen that it's a lot harder to balance the two. Obviously, donations and funders don't want to. There's still there's a language around kind of earned revenue that's not always appreciated, and so there's a little bit of hesitation from funder side around it. And then the market as well looks at a nonprofit with this arm of like, oh, nonprofits don't maybe necessarily have the same structure that a private company has. And so we're always balancing our communication and our language. But I think as we're starting to show the effectiveness of our programs and actually creating that balance of making sure we're training producers, but we're also making sure that they're being connected to the market, I think more and more people are starting to believe in the work that we do and actually come in and support as well.